Alright, hello everybody. My name's Bino, and in this guide I'm going to talk to you about fishing in the Burning Crusade. Alright, fishing is going to play a key part in cooking during the Burning Crusade. It's going to allow you to get some special buff foods that you can only get through fishing. Alright, it's going to allow you to get the plus healing buff food, the MP5 buff food, 30 stand buff food, which is the highest stand buff food you can get, and spell crit foods. Alright, so what are we going to cover in this guide? Things I'm going to talk about are, first, where you're going to go to train, then where you're going to go to level up your fishing, what fish you're going to catch there, and where you're going to get those recipes to cook up the fish that you just caught. Okay, to train your fishing, you're going to need to go to Cenarian Refuge in Nagrand Marsh. There you're going to buy the book, Master Fishing the Art of Angling, from Mr. Dufresne. Alright, he's there at the edge of Umbernfin Lake, and he's going to sell you the book. He also sells a recipe for blackened sporefish, so you're going to want to grab that while you're there. Alright, next, we're talking about fishing in Nagrand Marsh. Alright, you're going to ask, why fish in Nagrand Marsh and not Hellfire Peninsula? Hellfire Peninsula doesn't have any good buff fish. Alright, they're all... The first buff fish you're going to be able to get come from Nagrand Marsh. Alright, so fishing in Nagrand Marsh, it's split into two sections. You got the east and west. We're going to start in the east section. Alright, fishing in the east section, you got to be at 305 to catch fish and 400 to not miss any fish. On the west side, it's 355 to catch, 450 not to miss. Alright, so we're going to start fishing in Umbernfin Lake. And I know I'm killing the name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Alright, you're going to want either the Extreme Angler 5000 from the Horde quest, or the Arcanite fishing pole from the STV fishing tournament if you can get them. Alright, if not, you're going to have to suck it up with the big iron fishing pole and put on that aqua dynamic fishing attractor. But if you got 300 fishing and one of the other two poles, you can get by with a bright bobule. Alright, so to start, you're just going to fish in open water right there next to Dufresne, and you're going to want to get enough fish to get the 310 cooking. So that's 10 fish. Alright, it's going to be a mix of barbed trout and spotted failtail. The failtail is going to give you 20 stam buff food. The barbed trout is just going to be a food that you're going to eat. Alright, it's not worth nothing, but it's great to get you that first tier of cooking. Alright, then depending on what you're going to do, how you want to do it, you can either stay right there, fish the open water, catch whatever you catch, because you're going to catch the Zanger sporefish, you're going to catch golden darter, you're going to catch spotted failtail, and you're going to catch the barb gills. Alright, if you're a healer, I would start fishing the pools right away around the lake as soon as you can. Once you got 10 fish and you can get to that 310 cooking, start fishing up your Zanger sporefish. That's going to be MP5 food. It's going to be a great buff food to start raiding as a healer, where you're not going to have the mana you need. The MP5 is going to be awesome. Alright, and then also make sure you're keeping an eye out for the steam pump debris. Alright, you're going to be able to get out of those, out of one of the crates, the book to track fish. And I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be in right off the bat or later, but still fish them up because you can get good vendor items out of them too. Alright, so once we fish through Nagrand Marsh and we can get our fishing skill up to 450, we can move to Terracar Forest. Terracar Forest is going to be the place where you're going to get your golden darter. Alright, and golden darter are the only way to get the plus healing buff food. So once your healers can heal through the fights without needing the MP5, they're going to be wanting these golden darter. Alright, all you have to do is go up and down the rivers. Alright, you're going to find tons of schools for golden darter, and the mixed brackish schools, fish them up, get your golden darter, profit. Alright. Now, there is two zones in Terracar Forest. There's the highlands and the lowlands. The lowlands are the rivers. You're going to be able to get your golden darter and your spotted failtail. In the highlands, you're going to be able to get golden darter and the furious crawdads. But you can only get to the highland lakes once you can fly. And they're also a lot higher fishing. To not miss, you got to be at 500 fishing, which is getting the best lures, the best poles, and the enchants, and the hat, and the boots. Alright. So the highlands, great for buff food, for tanks, but it's going to be at the end when you get that good plus fishing. Okay, now that we've got our fishing up to where we can get to 475 and not miss, we can move to Nagrand. Once you move to Nagrand, you're going to want to stay in the east side until you can get up to 490 fishing, alright, which is way up there. But on the east side, you're going to be able to catch your ice fins and your mudfish, alright. Nagrand is the DPSers fishing grounds, alright. The mudfin are going to give you 20 agility buff food, and the bluefin, the ice fin bluefin, are going to give you the 23 spell power, alright. To fish on the east side, you're going to look at the two smaller lakes, the ones right next to Shatrath when you come out of the Aldor Rise, and the one that leads on the road to Terracar Forest. Those are going to be the two locations that you can fish with a skill of 475. Once you can hit 490, then you can move to the two big lakes in the center of the map, and they're also going to give you bluefin and mudfish. Alright, there's more schools in the center, but until you can get to that level, you're not going to be able to catch them there. Alright, now, before we move on to the last part, I didn't talk about the crit food. Alright, the crit food comes out later, and it's going to be something that you can get from the fishing dailies. So I didn't touch on it here, but know that it will be coming, and that is a fishing only recipe. Alright, for the last part, we're going to talk about the recipes and where to get them. Alright, I'm going to post these slides up in the comments so that everybody can just look at them. Alright, so you have this reference point, but this is the list of all the locations to pick up each recipe as you move through your fishing. And I'm going to post these up in a cooking video that I'm going to do that gives you a detailed what level to use what recipe, so you have numbers and, you know, catch this many fish. But if you're leveling your fishing up, you're gonna have way more fish than you need to level your cooking up. So that's why it's important to know where you can fish first. You'll fish, you level your fishing up, and if you're cooking while you're fishing, you're gonna be maxed out cooking way before you're maxed out at fishing. I will also post in the comments a link to a 1 to 300 fishing guide done by Icosiol. It's really good. Check it out if you're not already 300 fishing, because going into the Burning Crusade, you're going to want to be 300 fishing to be able to jump right into fishing in these zones without missing all the time. It's frustrating. Thank you again for watching the video, and leave questions in the comments and I'll do my very best to answer them.